I'm not hearing you.
We can't hear you, David.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, we were having difficulties and we weren't sure which end it was on.
David, are you able to see okay?
Yeah. I'm seeing right now the camera going from person to person.
Okay, so the camera is working, going from person to person.
Yes.
But it's interesting. Okay, there it goes. I was going to say, when I was talking and it went to a blank chair. I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, looks like it's working now.
Sorry, I'd be there in person, but my sniffles turned into a chest cold, so I'm laying low.
Oh, David, are you okay if we start our work session?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, with our work session, start at the top. So we've got 104 South Elm Avenue with the rear deck.
The only comment I have on this one is it would just be a more finished traditional style. if they were to add a frame around those lattice panels instead of applying it just directly to the structure. But other than that, it was fine.
I thought it looked fine, but I thought there's a discrepancy between the color renderings
Yep.
versus the site plan.
Yeah, I saw that too.
On the right-hand side. There we go. Sorry, David, I don't know if you could hear what I said. I thought that on the site plan and the elevation, there was a discrepancy between the colored rendering and the site plan. It looked like on the east side elevation on the black and white version, it looks like the deck aligns with the edge of the house on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But on the rendering and the colored version, it looks like there's a gap, and that, one of the posts is aligning with the window.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, and that there's a part that's cantilevering over or beyond
Yeah,
that, which is
yeah, I
not
didn't quite get
accessible. So
that.
and that beam is sticking out in the rendering.
And 4 feet 9 inches, yeah, that just seems like it's a perfect angle to hit someone in their
Yeah.
noggin or something.
Were the revised drawings that Mara put sent to us, they fixed that?
You're breaking up a little bit there, but no, the drawings that we got handed tonight were for the pool house on Loxley.
Okay.
So no updated drawings on this one.
And also in the color version, it looks like that post interferes with the window.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That looks like there's some discussion about what exactly is intended that we'll need to have.
Yeah.
So I'd like some clarification on that one.
Mhm. Okay, that sounds good. The next one on our list is 140 South Elm.
I had no comments on this one.
Yeah, I have no comments.
I had none.
I just had a suggestion and not a requirement. It's on the south elevation, second floor, to consider adding a window into the master closet to match the adjacent bath window, just to kind of fill up that dormer a little more.
It'd be nice to have light in the closet too.
Would you say, it seems like you're cutting out a little bit.
I said it'd be nice to have light in the closet.
Oh, yeah, yep, definitely. Okay, next one on the list is 228 Park Road.
The same thing on this one. I didn't have any comments on the porch or on the windows.
Mhm.
Only a minor thing on the porch is, I think it would coordinate better with the historic house if they were to add a bit of a cap and base trim to the new porch columns, just somewhat similar to the front porch columns.
Yeah, actually, I had a note there that the columns seem to be a little skinny on the skinny side.
Mm.
David, did you have any comments on that one?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, so for the first part, it was the porch, and then we've got the windows. Are there any window comments for
I-
228?
I think they're fine,
Yeah.
as submitted.
Agreed.
With these new windows, I'm assuming that the existing storm windows come off and they go back with no storms.
Yeah, I would assume the new windows wouldn't need storm windows.
Yeah, no,
But-
anyway.
Yeah, we could ask that. So we'll be discussing it. And I was assuming that the attic ventilation will be maintained if they take out that vent. somewhere else, hopefully. Okay, we're ready to move to the next one. In our work session at 675 West Lockwood.
So I didn't have any objections to what they submitted, but I was curious what changes were made.
There was on that back wall that faces the backyard, in the previous approval, they were going to add 2 windows into that existing wall, but then they decided not to do that. So that back existing wall of the bedroom is an existing blank brick wall. And they did rearrange the bathroom so they could add a window into the new part of that wall.
Okay,
So I thought that was a good compromise.
yeah,
So I was fine with that.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have any issue. I think actually having windows there would have a lot of undue noise from the HVAC units. So it makes sense not to have windows.
Yeah, it looks like those were drawn there for us to look at them. To notice that the condenser units were sitting right outside there.
Oh, were those added since last time?
I don't remember seeing those last time, no, but
Got it.
maybe they were, they could have been there. Okay.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Is that a pre-approval then, I guess?
I would say
Yeah.
so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So we're out of our
okay.
public hearings. Yep, we could pre-approve that.
Number 5.
Yeah. Okay, our next project is 649 Fieldstone Terrace for a front porch.
Oh, it looks like Mara gave that a pre-approval on
Sorry,
our,
I'm not looking
on
at the
our
right thing.
revised.
Yep,
Yeah.
Correct.
so that is pre-approved. Okay, so yep, you're right there, and that's right for the next one as well, with a condition that we'll discuss when we vote. So then that brings us to 429 Newport.
So we're skipping over 32 West Glendale?
Yeah, 429 Newport's the next one. Oh, yeah, you don't have this pre-approval list on your, with you, because we just got handed here.
Oh, okay,
So yeah, 649 Fieldstone Terrace was pre-approved. And then 32 West Glendale Avenue was pre-approved with some conditions that we'll note. And then we also have 8537 Watson as a pre-approval.
I didn't have any questions or comments on Newport.
I didn't have any comments on it.
I think some of the window alignments and sizing are kind of just scattered. But I don't know if that's just entirely based on what's going on inside the building or the house.
You guys can see it.
So are you okay with it, David? Or did you
Yeah.
have something specific that you wanted to discuss?
Let me look at the elevations real quick.
Yeah, we're still having a little trouble hearing you.
Yeah, it's kind of going in and out, so.
You know, I take back what I said. I'm okay with it.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that- Yeah, if that's the case, then maybe we could pre-approve that one as well.
Okay.
Okay, the next project is 669 Loxley Place, the pool house project, and we did receive new drawings on that one here.
so this would be like one of those highlights magazines to figure out what the changes are
Yeah.
from one to another.
Well, I know that I had commented on a couple of things that I see have changed, and that was The front columns looked like they were kind of skinny, so I see that those have been increased in size. And then I think it was a graphic thing on the last one, but the front elevation didn't have trim around the windows and door. So it looks like that's been added.
And there's been grills added to the windows on the right side. Previously, there were none.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some brackets under the eaves that were only shown in face-on view. They weren't shown in profile. It looks like those have been removed. And another comment I had was to run the downspouts down the side of the columns rather than down the front. It looks like that's been changed, updated. Oh, there, it looks like there is that one, there is still one bracket that's showing
On the left.
on
and
the,
right.
the left and one on the right, but the ones that were kind of surrounding the perimeter at the first floor level looks like they've been removed.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was wondering too, I mean, we've got sort of a lot of material movement, so to speak, visually. And I understand part of that is just graphics, the way it ends up being drawn. But I was wondering if that shingle style siding is, that's going to be the staggered style or if it's going to be the straight edge. I think with the amount of material changes and line changes going on, it might be nicer to go with the straight edge rather than the staggered.
Mhm.
And also too, this is a totally different style than the house, which is fine, but it seems like the spires don't really add that much to it. So, well, anyway, we can kind of discuss some of those things, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah, I was suggesting maybe they even remove the brackets. I mean, now they only have 2 of them, so I don't know if they're needed.
Especially when there's so much
Others.
other material interest there.
Mhm. Any other comments on that one?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So we can discuss that one. So then that moves us down to the preliminary project for discussion 547 East Jackson, which is a new home.
Oh, so we're pre-approving Watson.
Yeah.
Um, I have some problems with this, honestly. This is a corner lot. And it really bothers me when one side that faces the street and faces the front door of another home is really devoid of any retaining qualities. I'm sorry, but the left side elevation with especially the ground floor with a single garage door, no windows, save the 3 on the foundation. I just think that, for a corner lot, this is not appropriate.
The left side, yeah.
Mhm.
I agree. I had that comment as well.
And, I know we're not commenting on the site plan per se, but, the existing home has a garage that's quite a bit farther to the left and away from the intersection. And so it seems that the garage entrance and the driveway is going to be very, very close to the intersection. And again, it's not a code or a zoning issue that's for the city to determine, but I think for the quality of the street and pedestrian safety, all those things, I just think that, that needs to be reconsidered.
Yeah, I also had notes about the left side. And then even considering an additional window in that on the right side of bedroom 2, which I think was a front bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could add a window to the walk-in closet and maybe break up the elevation with a different material on the second floor, like you have on the that little projected dormer type thing on the front elevation.
Do we know if this is a spec home or custom?
I don't know that we have that information, but maybe we can discuss it with the applicant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did, had, some similar comments about, as we discussed, breaking up that left elevation and then also the possibility of adding, into bedroom 2 on the right side, a window to help relieve that a little bit. And then also on the front elevation, it seems like at that second floor, the farther back dormer, or excuse me, gable, the one with the horizontal siding, that looks a little unnecessary to me, a little bit forced. I mean, I can, I was looking at the floor plan and it looks like they could almost move the front wall of that walk-in closet out to align with the front wall of the bedroom that has the vertical siding on it and maybe cover that whole element with just one gable. To just kind of simplify it a little bit, and that would still, you'd still have the nice height of that taller front facing gable at the front, but the kind of, I don't know, it looks like a,
Stacked, yeah, the stacked gable look.
Hmm.
it just looks like, oh, we really needed to fill up this roof, so we put something there rather than have it being more purposeful. I think just having that nice taller element by bringing that closet wall forward would help a lot. It would also make the closet bigger, which
Yeah.
would be nice for the occupants.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. All right, so we'll discuss that one. That's the end of our agenda. Since we have some time, did you guys have any comments on the meeting minutes from last time?
I did not.
Yeah, okay.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, that concludes our work session and then we'll just hold off until 5:30 when the official meeting begins. All right, good evening. Welcome everyone to the Webster Groves Architectural Review Board hearing. I'd like to introduce the board before us this evening. We've got Mark Vogel, Carol Dunkey, and David Yates online on our Zoom call. I'm Tracy Collins and I'm subbing in for Bob Buckman, who is our normal chair. And then we also have Sarah Richardson, which is our city council liaison online. And with the city, we have Yolanda Wilkins and Andrew Klosterman here with us. Our first order of business this evening is to look at the minutes from the prior meeting on February 16th. The board has looked at them and there were no comments or corrections. So I'd like to ask the board member to present a motion for the meeting minutes.
I move to approve the meeting minutes from February 16th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting minutes are approved as written. Okay, next, we'll go into projects that have been pre-approved. The board has discussed all the projects on the agenda tonight, and these projects had minor comments that could be addressed with a motion or no comments on the design and don't require any kind of discussion with the applicant. So we'll move through those next. Our first pre-approval project is 649 Fieldstone Terrace for a front porch.
What we can do? 675.
Did I miss one?
We discussed Lockwood and decided
Oh.
this evening to go ahead and
This
pre-approve.
happens when okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, sorry, we'll back up one. So our first pre-approval project is 675 West Lockwood.
I move to approve 675 West Lockwood as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 That is unanimous. So 675 West Lockwood is approved. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right, now we'll move to the next one, 649 Fieldstone Terrace on the front porch. Do I have a motion on that project?
I'll make a motion to approve 649 Fieldstone Terrace as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. So 649 Fieldstone Terrace is also pre-approved. Okay, then the next project is 32 West Glendale Avenue for a second story addition. Do I- Yep,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I move to approve 32 West Glendale Avenue with the conditions that the master bedroom and the water closet windows will be made taller and that the applicants will consider changing to a stucco finish if feasible and go to lap siding if it is not a viable option.
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote is unanimous. 32 West Glendale Avenue is approved. Our next pre-approval project is 429 Newport Avenue for a two-story rear addition. Do I have a motion on that project?
I'll make a motion to approve 429 Newport as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote is unanimous and 429 Newport is approved. And then our last pre-approval project this evening is 8537 Watson Road. Do I have a motion on that?
I move to approve 8537 Watson Road as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. David, would you like
Yeah,
to vote?
aye.
Okay.
Aye.
That vote is also unanimous. So then 8537 Watson Road is approved. Now that our pre-approvals are complete, we'll move to public hearing projects. These are projects within the historic district that will be opened up for public comment as well. So from this point forward, we'd ask that the applicant come forward to the podium, or if you're online, raise your hand on Zoom so that we know that you're there to speak on behalf of the project. Introduce yourself and state your role on the job, and then we'll just have a little discussion before making any further approvals or before we vote, we'll discuss. Okay, so our first public hearing project is 104 South Elm Avenue for a rear deck.
Aye.
So I'm Xavier with Exceptional Hardscapes. I'm the contractor for the project.
Great.
I just gave you guys some revised plans kind of based off your comments. And
Mhm.
I think hopefully it's a lot better.
Yeah.
But basically there's a deck there taken off,
Yeah.
actually making the footprint a little smaller. And then there's some kind of crappy concrete down below we're taking out and putting a paper patio where it comes
Okay.
down to essentially.
Yeah, you probably heard some of the comments that we made during the work session. And appreciate you submitting the revised drawings. It looked like you did make some corrections, moving the post
Mhm.
out of the way of the window and removing the what appeared to be kind of a cantilever on the right-hand side. There is, though, still a discrepancy between the two sets of drawings, the black and white version. It looks like the deck on the right-hand side is aligning with the edge, the right-hand side of the house. But on the colored rendered version, there's it appears to be several feet between the edge of the deck and again, the side of the house.
Yeah, I don't know what got messed up on the black and white one, because it from the color rendering is more exact where it's gonna be, because currently that asphalt comes over as it shows in the coloring. We wasn't gonna mess with taking any of that out, just basically bring it past the window as in the color rendering and keep it
Okay.
right there. So yeah, that needs to be modified. I don't know what happened on the black and white part. But it will be with the 3D, the color rendering is where the location of it will be at.
Okay, so we go by the colored rendering.
Mhm,
not the-
On that part, yeah,
Yeah,
no, they're.
Okay. And then I couldn't tell from the photographs, the existing deck appears to go on the left-hand side. Does it go over
Yeah,
that rear door?
yeah, it kind of goes over and around and makes it really hard to actually get down in
Yeah.
there with the door. So we're just bringing it back.
Okay, so
Coming
you've
straight.
shifted the whole thing to the right, so you're avoiding that back. door
Yeah,
completely.
so it just comes straight out from, now it's just a straight rectangle.
Yeah.
As where it jogged over before.
Great.
So and then we added lattice and we'll do some trim boards around that, keep it clean and looking nice.
Good. I don't have any other comments.
No, that answers all my comments. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
David, I know you can't see the new drawings we received tonight, but did you have any other discussion items?
No, I did not.
Okay. So it seems like there aren't any real clarification, and I guess maybe within our motion, we can make a comment that the rendering is more accurate than the black and white 2D drawings. So with that, before we go into a vote, though, since this is a public hearing, I'll open it up to the public. If anyone wants to speak on behalf of 104 South Elm, please come forward or raise your Zoom hand. Don't see anyone, so we'll bring it back to the board here for a motion on this project.
Okay, I move to approve 104 South Elm Avenue based on the revised drawings that were submitted this afternoon with the clarification that we will follow the rendered colored version takes precedent over the black and white site plan that was also submitted at the same time.
And maybe Ed Carroll's note about adding the trim around the lattice work.
Yeah, David, that is actually shown on the revised drawings.
Yeah. And
Oh, okay, thank you.
yeah, do you want to add that to the motion that
Sure, yeah, and that the revised drawings do indicate there is trim that is added to the lattice beneath the deck.
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, it's unanimous and you can
All right.
go ahead and submit your permit drawings. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, our next public hearing project on tonight's agenda is 140 South Elm Avenue for a rear second floor addition.
I am Alex Blaze with Blaze Architects.
Hi.
Hi, Alex. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
I think this looks fine. I just had one minor suggestion, and that would be on the south elevation on the second floor to consider adding a window into that master closet to match the adjacent bath window. I think the drawings and everything look really nice. That would just kind of help balance it a little.
The reason we had not is because that walk-in closet already has a window in it for that bench, and adding another window will remove a significant amount of shelf space.
Sure, that's fine. I understand. I was looking at it. Well, we'll just discuss it. So that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was our only comment from the board. So we'll move to the public. If anyone has any comments that they want to discuss on 140 South Elm, please come forward or raise your Zoom hand. All right, we don't see any. So we'll bring it back to the board for a motion. If a board member could please present a motion for 140 South Elm.
I'll make, oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
Mark.
I
Sorry.
move to approve 140 South Elm Avenue as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And David, you're muted. Have to get your vote.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. So project is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next public hearing this evening is 228 Park Road. There's two parts to this project. We'll first discuss the rear covered porch.
Good evening. I'm Mary Mattingly. I'm the project manager for Home Matters Alliance, who is doing the design build on this project.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think the board went during our work session, we were discussing possibly having the columns on the rear enlarged and maybe match the front porch columns.
They
a little bit
will,
better.
and we went by there and remeasured, and they're 10 inches, and they'll match. Everything will match. The trim, the
Okay.
caps, the base, everything size will match.
Match the front porch columns.
Yes.
Great. That's my only comment.
Okay,
No comments.
okay. Since this is a public hearing, we'll now open it up to the public for comment. Does anyone have any comments on 228 Park Road? We usually don't have any, but all right, hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board. I'm looking for a motion on 228 Park Road with a clarification on the columns.
I'll make a motion to approve 228 Park Road with the understanding that the porch columns will be wider and have cap and base trim that will match the front porch columns.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great, it's unanimous. So the design on the rear porch is approved, and then we'll move to the windows on that same project.
So that, we're not taking care of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
different
separate.
contractor.
Right.
Oh,
They're
okay.
they're going with Anderson, so.
Okay. Okay, well, then you can just submit your part, the permit drawings to the city then.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have anyone here? to
Yes, I'm
represent-
sorry, I'm on the Zoom call.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep. You
Okay,
can.
perfect. My name's Larry with Renewal by Anderson. I am the design consultant on the project.
Welcome. Yeah, we discussed the project. We have any, I don't think.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah. No
Yeah, we didn't
comments.
have any comments as a board. But since this is a public hearing, we'll open it up to the public in case anyone has any comments. And there are none, so we'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
I move to approve 228 Park Road windows as submitted.
Second.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. So you are approved and you can submit your permit drawing.
I think David and I tied.
Same time. All right, so that concludes our public hearing projects, and now we'll move into our regular submittals. The next item is 669 Loxley Place for the pool house. And we did receive additional drawings on that this evening.
Hi, good evening. Rob Westrich, owner, and Matt Adams, architect.
Okay, good.
I'm Matt Adams, architect of the project, Adams Architect.
Yeah, welcome.
You're a familiar face. from the Chesterfield board.
Oh, you guys are on the board together? Okay. So it looks like with the new drawings, there were some items that were revised based on the previous comments that you were given from the board. Do you mind just walking us through those real quick, just to make sure we've understood everything that's changed?
Right, the ARB/2 sheet
has
has
Mhm.
been revised according to your comments.
Okay.
The columns on the front, we took it from 8 inches to 12 inches. And I do agree. I think they should have been wider. than the
Yeah.
code. The siding on the side where we have the timber. Rob and I went through the neighborhood and we saw various shingles that he liked. And they were reflected with the timber like, so that's what we did. We wanted to try to harmonize it in the area, and it looks nice. Whether the bottom is straight or it's got a little irregularity to it, that's what you got. As far as the shingles, they're different to make that shape appearance. So that's what we're indicating there on the shape.
Usually when on those shingle style sidings, the ones that are staggered are pretty dramatically staggered, like, and then of course there is some variation on the straight edge because they don't line up. So is that what you're representing, the straight edge that's not super precise, or the more dramatic stagger?
I can show you a photograph of.
Oh,
the
great. That would
drawing
help. Thank you.
that This is what we were proposing.
Okay. So that is the staggered edge.
It is a staggered edge.
Mhm.
Thanks.
My concern with the straight edge is we have vertical lines and then you just have horizontal lines. And I like it getting broken up a little bit, but it's not just quite so just straight everything, and it gives it a little softer edge to it. So, I mean, I think it's really just a matter of personal preference. I don't think one is necessarily better than the other, but I just like it being broken up as opposed to just hard edges.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a board, we're supposed to be colorblind, but the final page, the submittal has some photographs. Is it intended that both the lower and upper siding are the same color? They're both white?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there really won't be that much contrast.
No, but again,
So
you know,
texture, yeah.
with the vertical siding, you have the vertical.
Sure, yeah,
The
yeah.
battens going up, and so you'll see that, and then I thought if it was the straight edged scallop or,
Yeah.
it's like, it's gonna just be like,
Yeah. I only ask because sometimes we see the lower siding, upper siding, different
colors.
materials and different colors, and really accentuates the
Yeah.
difference. And so this is gonna be a little more subtle than that,
Mhm.
sounds like.
and quite frankly, the only person that will ever see that is me, because it's facing,
It's facing the house.
it's facing my house.
Yeah.
And a tree. So there's really,
Yeah, it is. You do have some on that front facing gable, and that
Oh, you're right.
does, it's a
You're right.
corner house. So
You're right.
so the pool house will
I-
be very visible because it is
I
on the
forgot about
corner.
that part.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
there will be a little part of that there.
Okay. And then I noticed that the brackets, some of the brackets have been removed, but you have one on,
There were a couple brackets. bigger
Yeah.
than just left them on the- Those are all written.
Okay.
okay, I was gonna say the right,
They're
so
all- they
the
were
right and
all-
left will be taken out. Okay.
They were discussed earlier, but we removed. them. So
Okay.
they were just representing. anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We concur to that. And then the windows on the right side, we went ahead and put the divider light
Mm-hmm.
above the carpet around the front. Everything is now correlating with each other. And then, of course, the wrap around the front windows and the door.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did-
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looked like a graphic thing.
And then I had a question too about the spires. I mean, I think it's a very nicely designed building, but I don't know that those spires really add to it. Was there a particular motivation for those? You like them?
I felt like looking at it being a single story just looked utilitarian with just the single part to it. I looked at doing gables and a number of different things and was just playing with things and just kind of, but I mean,
They just come across as a little bit of an afterthought to me.
no,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Just
really.
It's a little spice on the road.
It's not a huge deal. I was just wondering what the thinking is behind it, since the house itself is like a more boxy colonial type style. So, but this is a departure from that. It's not, like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker.
It's kind of hard to do a boxy colonial style of this.
Well,
It doesn't
no,
really
I'm
work.
just
Uh,
talking, there's not a lot of ornate
Yeah, I just wish there
elements
were.
on your house.
Yeah, I
So
wish
I
there
was just thinking about coordinating the two.
I mean, to be honest, if it was a make or break situation of I can have it and be approved or not, I mean, this isn't like, I'm gonna kill to have it. It's like, I mean, I kind of like it, but
It's,
it's,
for me personally, just speaking for one board member, not for everybody else, it's not a huge deal. I mean, I think it would coordinate your property a little better, not to just have the one, like, just couple little ornate elements, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not a approve or disapprove deal.
and it's not a keep or don't keep thing for me either.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
mean, I like it, but Yeah.
We can put it in the motion that it's an option to have them or not, so you can kind of
What about
decide. I mean,
those?
if that's okay with everybody else.
They don't bother me. I was,
Yeah.
wondering if it kind of picks up on the material of the metal roof a little bit. It sort of, makes that
Mhm.
jump.
Yeah.
I think it's an option.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, so it sounds like, based on that discussion, really the only modifications that we would just put in our motion as a clarification would be that the brackets that are shown on the drawing would not be included and that the spires are optional. So if that sounds good to you, then we can include that in our motion and take a vote. Okay.
Is there any site work between the pool and the building? Or
Any
is- I mean,
site work?
Any hardscape or just grass or? Curious.
Yeah, it looks like you've got an apron out front of the pool house. Is there any other site work that's going to be happening as far as hardscape, or I guess you would walk across the grass to get to the,
So on, yeah, no, there is not currently.
I'm not saying there needs to be any, it seems to be that you'd
Mhm.
have the hardscape continue from the porch to the pool deck.
Mhm.
I agree. We need to do a little tweaking of how to get from the porch to the deck.
Yeah, maybe some pavers or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was.
It's all our road
Yeah.
here.
It's canine commentary.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, well, the site work can be something that you think about along the way, but as far as the building goes, I think we just have those two items to put in our motion. So with that, I will ask a board member to present a motion on 669 Loxley.
I'll make a motion to approve 669 Loxley based on the revised drawings that we received today, with the understanding that the brackets will be removed and that the spires are optional.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous and you're approved. And so if you make those changes to those permit drawings, and you can submit to the
Awesome.
city.
Thank you all.
Yep, thank you.
Like,
Have a good night. Okay, our last project this evening is 574 East Jackson Avenue, new home. And we received your new drawings we got for that.
Good evening, Jeff Schindler with Schindler Homes, and appreciate board members' time tonight. And been working hard with Mara to kind of get to this point, and she was kind enough to provide me with some comments, I guess, yesterday or maybe the day before. And we scrambled to get, I think we got almost everything included from the comments that she gave me. I don't know if you want me to run through those or if you got that.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
yeah.
kind of running through the changes, because David doesn't have a hard
Yeah.
copy in front of him. That would give him an idea.
So we added, I think a total of 6 windows. We added a window to the pantry on the left side, 2 windows in the kitchen, on the first floor. Then on the second floor, we added an additional window to the walk-in closet. And then we ended up adding 2 windows to the master or to bedroom number 2. In addition, there was a comment about adding decorative louvers to the left and rear or left and right elevations and the gable. We added those. And I think the only other comment that was more of a suggestion was on the double gable on the front. And we did look at that. Unfortunately, believe it or not, in this lot, plan is specifically designed for this lot to meet the requirements, and just making that
That's
closet
what-
bigger
yeah.
and bumping it out makes it too large to meet the square footage requirements. So.
Let's see.
Wow, those are compelling reasons. We've all been there. We understand trying to get every last inch you can and you
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
okay. So yes, I do understand.
So I, like I said, other than that, I think we've incorporated everything that was on your initial suggestions, and I appreciate those. Those were great suggestions, and I mean, I always enjoy these meetings because good things come out of it. So no, thank you very much.
So I appreciate adding the windows.
Mhm.
It's definitely an improvement to what was submitted before. I don't know if you were here during the work session when I made a comment about the corner of the house and all that. I just had a question. Is this a custom home or is this a spec home?
It was originally I was going to build it either way as an inventory home.
Yeah.
I've got somebody that's very interested in it. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
not sold as of yet.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
started obviously yet,
Yeah.
but yeah, so.
You know, and so my comments were really have less to do with window placement and the numbers and everything, and more more philosophical about this being a corner lot. And that, you know, a lot of the traditional homes in Webster Groves have special attention to that corner. And these homes really have 2 fronts. And, you know, placing the garage toward the front of the house is kind of in conflict with a lot of traditional homes that we see. And I understand what you're trying to do on the interior, because it's a beautiful big space with the kitchen and the living room that opens up to the backyard and everything. But I just, you know, is there any consideration to kind of flipping the program and having a porch on the corner and the front
Sure.
door on the corner?
Well,
and
you know, I
the
mean,
garage to the rear.
I mean, I guess, as you kind of alluded to, I mean, and, you know, hopefully this buyer does buy it. Like I said, they're super
Mhm.
excited. They're working on some stuff right now, but, you know, I mean, truthfully, I mean, a lot of people like that open floor plan between the kitchen and the living room. I mean, to put the garage back there, you can see, I mean, all of a sudden now you've just got, you know, I guess a kitchen up front, and an office and
Mhm.
a living room and back and as far as trying to incorporate a porch into it, you know, I mean, we're already setback to setback. Now we're getting into the meat of the house and
Yeah,
losing space. So I mean, it's tough to try to put it
Yeah,
all in there,
yeah.
you know? So, but I can appreciate that. And
You know, and the
and,
other thing is
you
that you're
know-
right across from Blackburn Park.
sure.
And so there is value in having living space on the front of the house that, you know, faces the park as well.
Mhm.
So I, you know, just offering that up.
Sure, well, and
You know,
the
so-
front of this house does face, the park, yeah.
Mhm. Right, right. But you have a garage
Oh, I
taking
see.
up most of that space that faces the park.
Sure.
So you
sure.
can't sit in your front room. I mean, there's the office, but you know, just
Sure.
some considerations, if the buyer changes and, you have a different idea of,
Sure.
what might make the
No, I
home
appreciate that.
valuable in that location. Because it is a pretty special site, being a corner lot that faces the park.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I don't think that this is taking advantage of that as value, so.
Mhm.
And those are my comments.
Yeah.
No, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
any
I
other
appreciate
comments based on these new drawings? I know this is a preliminary review, so we can,
And I don't know if, obviously it's up to
Mhm.
you guys. I'm gonna be out of town for the next meeting. That's why we scrambled to get these. If there was any way to get it with some, if there's
Mhm.
any additional comments or something, but I appreciate
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just I've got a minor tweak on this left side in these long horizontal windows that are on the second floor.
Uh-huh.
Instead of just having one vertical mutton in the middle, if you could divide those a little bit more. So the pane size is all a little more consistent.
Oh, yeah, you know what? They actually are yes,
Okay,
yeah, well, and certainly make a note of that, but yeah, those do have consistent pane sizes.
okay.
To Mark's point, I almost want to start doodling on this and and see if I could like flip the house, like to the garages towards the back of or towards the north, and then have the kitchen and living room facing the park. And then put that porch on keep the porch facing the park to shade the living room. But that's almost like it's almost a complete redo. But I almost feel like wanting to do it.
Sincerely, I get it. Those are good comments. It would be a complete redo.
Yeah.
from
Oh, sure.
Everything
Right,
we've
right.
done.
It's
Yeah.
Would be different site plan. Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. Well, it sounds like we've got all of our board comments. So at this time, we could make a decision as a board. I'd like to open it up to see what you guys think on, since this is a preliminary submittal. Do we feel like there's enough information here to move it to a full submittal?
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll move it to a full submittal. So then we would look for a motion on this project.
I'll make a motion to approve 547 East Jackson as submitted with the understanding that on the left side elevation, the second floor horizontal windows will have additional muttons.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. We've got 3 votes in favor of the project, so it is approved. So you could just make those changes on the windows that we talked about on your permit drawings and then submit those to the city.
All right. Thank you
So,
very much. I
yep.
appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. too.
Yep. Meeting is adjourned.
Excellent job.
Thanks all.